Hey there, welcome back guys. In this video we're going to show you how to edit your drone photos or any photos for free using a really robust program like you have here, Affinity, and the version we're using right now is Affinity March 2026. That's what the 26 stands for. And I can do everything I normally had done inside of Photoshop, but here in this program, that's for free. There are paid features if you want to use the more AI version of it. That's a subscription based, but right now, everything we have here is the free version. And as you can see, if you look here, this menu right here is usually available in the Photoshop, right? RAW adaptive camera filter thingy, and apparently it's free. There is one, you do have to go in through the back door to activate the distortion, but because usually in Photoshop this is built into the same experience. You just scroll down and the distortion is there, but I'll show you how to do that. But as you can see, look, we've got our picture here, which is awesome. We were able to make it work. There's this one part here that I like to do. If I go into Pixel, right? And if I go here, where is it? Filters, right? And then distort. And then from distort, I like to use lens distortion and see, and by default, there's nothing there. And so just pick your number. Just do 4. My number is 4. See? And voila, it did it. Kind of neat, huh? Gotta love it. And again, for those of you who missed that, go into Pixel, Filters, and then Distort, or whichever one you want to use. But by default in Photoshop, it's in this menu, the quick adjustments, let's say. So now, let's say you close this, right? And I want to go here, and I'm going to go into Window, right? And then go to General, and then click on Quick Adjustments. And now we did it. And now for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, it's right here. We're going to open up Photoshop. It's not cheap either. Remember, it's a monthly subscription thing. And now, same picture, well, different picture, and you go here, you go to Filter, right? And then you go right here. Where is it? Whoops. Filter gallery. See, camera raw filter. That's what it's called. And it's right here. So we have our exposure, our contrast, our highlights, etc. Color, vibrance, saturation, everything we just saw. Texture, clarity. I don't really use the dehaze, but if you scroll down, see, distortion. Voila. And normally I would do like this. I would do, here I would do, I think I did, it's reverse, because here I would have to do -4, right? And press enter. Or just 4. Then it was -4. Anyway, it's not even working. It did plus instead. Let's see, 4. See? 4 is like that, but -4 pops it out. -4. See? It did like a little boom, 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 boom. But as you can see in Affinity, it's not plus will bring you one way. It's like reversed. Anyway, knowing that moving forward, let's quit Photoshop, right? Or maybe even throw it out, considering it's really expensive on that monthly. And if this, again, there are more robust features inside of Affinity, but we're just gonna, we'll dismiss it, don't show again. We'll quit it. And that's all I was doing in Photoshop to get stuff like this. So we're gonna open up a new picture really quick and give you the gist of things. So I'm just gonna go to my desktop right over here. We have a little ducky, because ducks are great, because we never see ducks when we're flying our drones. But let's see what we have here. Just gonna drag it on here and see if I can simulate and create the same thing. Where did it go? It's right over there. See, it's very dark, black and whitish, but that's because of the day I went. It was very overcast, and I think I'm gonna go today after this video and go back. So you're not gonna see this. You'd be like, wait, I want that window. It doesn't show up by default. So you go to Window, right? And then you go here, General, and then you go to Quick Adjustments, and then there it is. And then the other one I'll show you in a second. So as you can see, this is our layer right here. And now I can just adjust the way I would in Photoshop. You want to turn up your brightness all the way so that we know, that we are working at optimal, because you don't want to be like halfway. And so I adjust my brightness. You can do whatever you want with your computer screen, but then sometimes when you turn the brightness up, you're going to have a different color experience. So for the exposure, maybe a tad, there's no trouble with the exposure, right? Because it's overcast. Brightness, a little bit, could get a little bit brightness. Contrast, and oh wow, look at that. already. Sweet, gotta love it. We make these videos so you don't have to. And shadows, couldn't get enough shadows because as you can see, it's overcast. You have to play with it because it's really an art. There's no like, oh, you're doing it wrong. No, I'm the artist. This is my picture, and I'm gonna do the colors that I think that work out for me. That's why sometimes you go down to Soho, New York City, and you're like, what the hell is that on a Saturday? And you see the Andy Warhol Campbell's soup things. Like, I don't know. It was hard times and soup to nuts. I just don't get it. Anyway, so, knowing that moving forward, I'm just giving you the stepping stones you need so that, moving forward, you can create your workflow with the colors, saturation, the hues, and the contrast. And maybe some of you might just want to do saturation, overly saturated. All right, so knowing that and moving forward, that looks all right about there. And sometimes, depending on the image, you may not need to do what I'm doing. And again, these are my eyes. That's why I have glasses on, and beauty is in the eye of the beholder, and it is the Hudson. It does look murky. You would have to select it. Use the selection tool if you wanted to do the water only. I'm just going to leave that like that, and maybe I'll just do saturation. Oh wow, that looks risky. Already that picture is coming to life. It's alive. That's just Frankenstein's castle. When they struck it by lightning. Quickly, go start the generators, Luke. Yes, I'm starting the generators now, master. And then when the lightning hit here, I think Mary Shelley was living over here at the time. And when it got struck, Frankenstein took a boat down here. And then I think he went down to Terrytown or Sleepy Hollow. I don't know. I get my stories confused. Anyway, that's the sharpness. You kind of get the idea. But no, that didn't really happen. And then we'll go here. And then, oh wow, look at the water. How we bring the clarity in? The ripples are like really coming out. I like this one, see? And now, like what I always do to give my pictures that kick, to that boom, that's what I do. You can do it too. Maybe 5 is good for you. I don't know. But as you'll see in a second, if I go to pixel selection, and if I go to filters, just remember pixel, filters, distort for me, but you have other distortions in there. I like to do lens distortion, and then if I type, see on Photoshop you have to type -4. Here you just put 4. I don't even know if 4 is equivalent to it, to be honest with you. See, for free, it did it. I like it. And the pictures, and I can click apply, and now it's pretty good. I think I'm gonna go back though because I want the island to be a little bit lower. But yeah, we brought it to life. Now our export options, let's see export. We can do save as, you'll figure that part out. Where is save as? Let's see, it's the spinning beach ball. Sometimes it doesn't, even though it's free, I got the memory, I got like 200 gigs on my computer, I got the memory. Sometimes these applications are a little bit slow, like, wait, I press save and nothing's happening. So we're gonna type in Bannerman's Island, and then save it to the desktop. Call it PT or Photoshop or PH, I don't know. And then just so I know, because I have other versions on there. And now when I go to my desktop, I want to see what the default save as is. It saves as has an AF, which is the file that's edible. Not edible as in you eat, but we want to save it as a file that can be, uploaded as a YouTube thumbnail or whatever. So do save as, and it's PT. So there's probably an export. Yep, right here, export. So the save as just leaves it as a universal file that it'll have all its layers and things like that in there. And then you can select with the PNG, JPEG. See, and then for me, I'm going to go back and pick the, where is JPEG? JPEG right here. So I'll just do JPEG. See? Nice. So all these different formats here, though. Then you have all that there. You can change the width and all that other quality, 100%. Maybe you do 72 DPIs for web. I think that's what that's related to. We can just export it and save. And now we should have a JPEG on our desktop. Wait for it. See, and there it is right there. Now when I click get info, I wonder what the size. Wow, 88 megabytes. That's pretty big. And that's not worthy of a YouTube thumbnail. Oh wow, look at that, the contrast. But we can always do it here and export, and then just shrink it down to here so that calculating size, 3 megabytes, which is a little bit too big, but you get the idea. You can arrange those settings inside of Affinity so that it works out just right for you. And then when you click the export, I'll just do it here, export, it'll be as a JPEG, but let's say the quality doesn't have to be at 100%. You can do at, let's say 50, right? Because it's going to be a YouTube thumbnail, maybe, I'm not sure. And then if we export, and again, just play with the settings. Some of the knowledge and workflows that you would do in Photoshop are transferable as long as you know what to look for. Like you saw here, oh wow, I do that in Photoshop too. So it's just going to be a new learning curve, so that you can just continue on with your workflow. I wouldn't delete Photoshop as of yet. See, still the same, just a little bit smaller. I wouldn't delete your workflow as of yet, but I just want to see the size. See, now we're at 7.3 megabytes, and if I open it, in case you wonder, how does it read it so fast? Right there, you just got to, it's on the get info. You press Command I, except now it's on a different document. And then if you don't feel like pressing Command or anything, just open it, right? And then when you click export, the scroll thingy, and I just need for 2. It's even at 3, so you just have to just make it 50% is not enough. So ideally, or not even 50%, let's do JPEG 2000, right? And then JPEG, there you go, voila. Because back in the day, it knew, what save for web was as. Calculating size, looks like that's going to be a little bit too big. See, 20, but we'll just leave it as it was. See, 900 kilobytes, now it's big enough. You play with it, scroll it, but if it's going to be for a YouTube thumbnail, it's not going to make a big difference. And we have to edit the graphics anyway to add like a little text and things like that. So now it even does this. Remember, we don't see ducks while we're flying our drones because we see hawks and eagles. So I just thought I'd make this a little bit user-friendly so that you guys could relate to it and keep your feet on the ground. All right, so same thing. We have that window. But this is really cool because if you see my videos, when we're doing the laser engravings, when we want an object, you could use preview for this. But if you click here, right, if we click on pixel, see, remember pixel will bring you into this menu so that you can get the object selection tool. Now, if you don't see the object selection tool and it's not working, just click learn more and it'll show this if it's installed. If it's not installed, then you just install it, but it should install. So let's see, I selected here, right? The object, and then I click the ducky. Look at that, now the duck's selected, right? But if I go back into vector, I can isolate the experience on the exposure, make him dark, a little black duck, or change it to, what is it, saturation? To like a black and white duck. Kind of neat, huh? And it's all here in these little mask / layer thingies. So if I need to go back and edit it individually, you can go back in there into its own little thingy, which is really cool. I forget what those are called, but that's pretty much it. And that's how I edit my drone footage, not footage, but pictures now moving forward. So I no longer have to have, maybe your Photoshop's not working. Maybe you don't, the paid subscription is a lot. But this is free. There's no strings attached. They're doing it for free because because everyone is so attached to that AI experience that they're actually paying for that other, whatever else you get in there. Oh, because I believe there's this here. So if I click here, undo, we have and so this one right here, auto white balance, it'll just auto, see? And then if I want to do auto colors, you can do auto colors and just press it. And if I want to do here, auto contrast, it'll do auto contrast. But I don't really see the difference. It depends on the image. It will do the auto everything, but I'm not a fan of auto. Sometimes auto works and sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes you put auto and then it overly saturates something and you have to go in and tweak it anyway. And that's it. I hope that this video helped you. If you have any comments or questions, feel free to leave them down below, or ideas for other videos. Remember to like and subscribe, and we'll see you all next time.